In the previous example, we have seen how to render a list of contacts in our HTML page, where we have displayed the contacts names in this list. And we have also seen what are the things that you need to keep in mind while writing that list. Now, here is an exercise for you. In this section, we'll go through an example that would help you implement the concepts that you have learned so far. Time for putting everything together. In the previous exercise, we were able to show the list of contacts. Now, I'm just adding one condition when we need to show this one. So what I need to do here, display the list of contact names as a list with the bullet points only when the user clicks on the checkbox. So the example goes like this, where I need to display all the 3 contacts, but this should only happen when the user clicks on the checkbox. So if you ask me how does this would look like, I would be exposing a checkbox which says, so do you want to display the list of contacts? Do you want to display the list of contacts is what the question I would ask. Depending on what exactly the user interacts on the screen, what I need to do, I need to display this list once this checkbox is checked. So this checkbox, this information that I have on the right hand side should come up here in this place. I'm just putting a placeholder here. Here is the place where I need to have all the 3 items that I'm showing here, only if this checkbox is checked here. If this checkbox is unchecked, this section should be hidden. So that is the requirement here. Feel free to pause this video and implement it on your own. In this section, I'll show you how exactly we can do this. Feel free to give it a try in your developer orgs, so that way you would gain some confidence in terms of handling such requirements when they come in your way. If you're watching this one, I hope you have at least given it a try. If you're able to successfully achieve it, congratulations. In case if you are struggling with it, do not worry. We'll go through this one by one to understand how can we achieve this requirement. Now, if you see here, the requirement of displaying the list of contact records is already been done. And we have the hard-coded contacts list also, where we can go through them and display them. So that is already been done. Now, what is the piece that is missing? The piece that is missing is we need to conditionally show this section or hide this section. Now, if you remember, we have implemented similar thing of conditionally rendering your LWC in a previous exercise. How did we do that? By using the code that I have above. So I'll just copy paste that code just to give you that understanding, so that way we can make changes. So this is how I conditionally render a section in my LWC component. Do I need to display the email address? The answer is no. I need to conditionally show or hide this list of contacts that I'm generating. Now what I'll do here, instead of putting it outside, I'll just move that piece into this section. So what does this section would do? This section is displaying the list of contacts. Correct? So this is what it is doing. Now, when I need to display this section, when somebody checks a checkbox, where do I have the logic? If you remember, earlier we have created a checkbox. So I'm taking the help of that checkbox here. I'm just copy pasting that code. Why am I doing it? It is to help you understand that once you have something that is working, you can take the references of it and make changes to your requirement. So what is the label that I want to display? I'll ask a question to the end user. Do you want us to display the list of contacts? So this is what I wanted to ask the question to the end user. Now, if you see here, once the user checks that checkbox, which function is being called? This function is being called. If I go to that function, What exactly we are doing? We are doing the same thing that we have discussed earlier. Once the user checks that checkbox, we are assigning it to a show temp variable, and that show temp variable by default has been set to false. So whenever this component initially loads, this section would be hidden. Only this checkbox would be visible to the user. Once they check that checkbox, this function would be called, where we are setting that value to the decision that has been made by the end user. The show temp would hold that value. If it has been checked, this value has been set to true. If that has been set to true, this section would be evaluated as true. If that has been evaluated as true, this component of showing the list of contacts would be displayed to the end user. So that is what is happening here. Let's display this code to see the changes in our org. My component has been deployed. Let's go to the Salesforce org to see this in action. If I do a hard refresh, I have this checkbox. Right, so at this point of time, I do not have any contacts that are being displayed at this point of time. So let's see what would happen if I check this checkbox. If I check this checkbox, whatever that I was getting from that contacts list is being displayed. If I uncheck it, it has been hidden. So this is how you can achieve this requirement. Now, if I summarize this entire concept here, it is something that we have already discussed. So this concept is nothing but here, how do you display your checkbox to the end user? So that is that concept. And this section is being shown or hidden depending on the user interaction with this checkbox. So this concept of showing and hiding is coming from this concept is coming from conditionally rendering your LWC. And post that, what we have done, we have used these two concepts to achieve this requirement. This hands-on exercise is being given to you as a practice to help you understand that whatever that we are learning as an individual item, if you can combine two or more things, that would help you achieve another requirement. So if you understand the building blocks of the concepts, you can use them according to your requirement to build a bigger requirement. So that brings us to the end of this video. Hope you have able to achieve this requirement. In case if you have not, feel free to give it a try once more to see if you're able to figure out where the missing piece is.
Hey guys, if you like this video, do like, share and subscribe to SFDC Quest.